Hey there, due for another video. It's been a while. As you might gather, I'm on vacation. I'm recording this out in a boondocking spot in the desert out near Joshua Tree National Park in Southern California. I'll be wandering around for the next few weeks. Hey, 2026 is going to be the year of independence. There's going to be stuff going on, rallies, meetings. Of course, there's the petitioning and the referendum. So, give me a break. I'm going to take a breather here because we're going to be full pedal to the metal for the rest of the year on independence. What a year it is. So last night from out here, I watched the rally at the Big Four. I think, nobody can deny that something huge is happening anymore. The opponents are really coming out of the woodwork. The Federalists are going to start playing dirtier and dirtier. I mean, some idiot set off the fire alarm at the rally last night in Calgary. Nobody budged. They knew it was fake. And it provided a distraction for about 20 or 30 seconds. But that's just the beginning of what the lunatics married to the system are going to do. But boy, what a rally. Thousands of people came out in person. People in line all day coming in just to sign the referendum petition at the Big Four building in Calgary. Great work from Derek Smith emceeing it. Eva Chipiuk was up there speaking. It was great. Mitch Sylvester, fantastic as always. They, people came out to hear and they provided, but I want to cover then a little more. And I don't blame them for not covering everything. You can only do so much in an evening rally. So these rallies are great in letting Albertans, letting Canada know, putting them on notice that this movement is live, it's real, it's happening, it's huge, and it's growing, which is great. But the nuts and bolts are hard. Oh, by the way, one other thing that kind of ties into what I want to talk about. I think it was 150 volunteers were there who were accredited to take petition signatures, because you need to have that accreditation to do so. There's a lot of things from Elections Alberta to do so for the referendum signatures. 150 volunteers just to do that, just there that day. There are thousands of volunteers working around the province. So they talked a lot about the reasons why the independence movement is growing. Mitch's demonstration was fantastic. Max, who's brilliant with Freedom Calendar, live streamed it. If you look it up, you can find his stream to cover and listen to those speeches and those presentations. So there was only so much time. They gave the why, but what I like to focus on is the how. The how. One of the things I don't know if it's forgotten, but again, they're covered so much, and they did a fantastic job, was reminding people, you got to sign up to volunteer. You've got to be the campaigner. This is the big game here, guys. We got till fall. We might never get another chance for a referendum, or if we do, it'll be years away. So get on board now. You know why. If you're showing up for those rallies, you're probably not many undecided people already. If you're watching those streaming things, you've probably already made up your mind. Now, you need to get out and find those undecided people and move them towards the decided, which is, of course, yes for independence. And they just didn't have time to hit that. And the first step, this is kind of nice how this all lays out, is become a registered petitioner. Do it. Sign up. It's Stay Free Alberta. You look them up online, sign up, get the accreditation done. Some people going off, oh, there's an NDA. What are they hiding? What's the secret? It's stupid. Every conspiracy theory and opponent, of course, is going to go after things. Of course, there's an NDA, because you're going out and asking people for their personal information. You're getting signatures from them supporting an independence referendum. Not everybody wants their information put out to the public on that. They're entrusting you with it. So, of course, there's an NDA. You don't disclose what you've taken. That's a violation of people's privacy. I feel more comfortable knowing that everybody signed that. It's no conspiracy. And those are things to watch out when you're doing. I guess follow kind of some of the Hippocratic Oath almost when you're out campaigning or petitioning or whatever. Do no harm. First, do no harm. So just always make sure, as emotional as we get with things and everything, you don't stir things up further. The opponents will always be the opponents. The supporters will be the supporters. It's that mushy middle. We really, really need to win. We must. The support's growing. There's no doubt. I mean, the weather up there, I've been hearing about. I know, here I am coming from the desert. It's getting a little hot out here right now. But I know it's bone-chilling cold in Alberta right now, and people are still standing outside for hours to sign those petitions. So sign up. Become a petitioner. Get active. Get engaged. Don't just sign up people who want to, sign to hold the referendum, find out if they want to volunteer. Find out if they want to get in and become a petitioner. This is investing yourself in the process. It's just starting the campaign. So when you've done this for a few months and this petition blows Luke Hassick's little fake petition out of the water with the amount of Albertans who have signed, then the real, again, this snowball, this momentum, this movement will keep going, because then the next phase of this whole thing begins. And that's, of all of them, the most important. Now you have to win the referendum. You have to make sure that a clear majority votes for independence, and that's going to be a lot of work. So if you've already started that ground game, you've already started practicing, you've already invested yourself as a petitioner, even if you only filled out one sheet with 5 people and added it to the mix, you've now taken part. You're going to feel more comfortable as you start campaigning to push for that yes vote. You will have engaged some people as you were gathering those signatures. It starts down the road towards the yes vote. The question to ask people, even if they're undecided, if you're talking about the petition signature, it's not even necessarily supporting independence, but supporting the referendum. That's the first part. That's what this petition is about. In fact, if a person really opposes it and they're really that confident that a referendum won't win, then they should want to sign it too. Because let's have it out. Let's put it to a public vote. What better way than to ask every single Albertan in a referendum? So they should sign that petition too. Just, yeah, if only for the sake of saying I want to vote against it, fine. I mean, we don't want to find those people and bring them out to vote, but you know what I mean. Those signatures all count. We need to put it to the question. And there's people worried again, oh, but they could shut it down, or the government doesn't want to. Look, again, I don't know how many times I got to say it, but there's truth to it. If the Smith government didn't want a referendum to happen, they wouldn't. Bill 14 never would have come through. She could have thrown her hands up and said that judge's ruling has put it out of our hands. We can't do anything about it. Sorry, folks, no referendum to be had. Instead, they scrambled and changed the legislation to make it possible to petition and have a referendum. Does it mean that she supports independence? I don't know. She supports the referendum. And covered it before, don't try and push the UCP into being an independence party. That's just going to put an NCN. Focus on the referendum. That's all that matters. And now we've got the petitioning going. So that rally was just magnificent. It really did kill me to have to watch it streaming from out here. I mean, you know, it was only so hard to put up with things when I'm enjoying this weather, but still, I really, really wish I was there in person, of course. But there's going to be other rallies. There's going to be other events. I know I'm getting scheduled for a few in later February. I'll be speaking at a number of them. They're going to be happening everywhere. Getting people together in person, you know, there's no better way to engage. But to win those hearts and minds, and as I've talked about a lot before, that takes one-on-one. That takes friends, family, coworkers, people who talk. And that's why you should be signing up and becoming one of those petitioners. Because you can start those conversations and it leads to a purpose and point. Getting that signature on that paper and making that person, whoever you're talking to, think about it and consider things, and maybe they'll become a positive vote later down the road. That's the intention. But the rallies, you got to think these rallies, thousands and thousands and thousands of people are coming out to these rallies. They're going to be, you know, small town ones that are bringing out thousands of people, the city one that brought out thousands of people. But there are hundreds of thousands of people who just don't do that. That's not their thing. That's not their bag. Fine with them. That means you have to get out and reach them. You got to find them at the sporting events, at the bar, at work, wherever. At the dinner table, just don't ruin your dinner over it. But I'm pumped. I'm thrilled. I mean, I knew that rally was going to be packed, and I wasn't proven wrong. It went great. There's going to be more of them. I'm going to be doing more updates from out here in the desert in the next couple of weeks, you know, as I do my independence thing from out here. And as I said, my specialty is more on the how. Plug my book one more time to throw it out at you. There's a link down there in the video description, the Sovereigntist Handbook. Grab yourself a copy. It has a lot of the background. If you want to make the case to independence, if you want to become a campaigner, if you want to move people to that positive vote, the book is your guide for it. That's why it's called the Handbook. I put my experience into it, and I've gotten good reviews from people. It should make you a better campaigner. Things are looking great. Every day we're getting a little closer to referendum and a victory. Thank you very much to all of you guys at Stay Free Alberta, you volunteers who went out there and did all that and put on such a rally that is shaking up the whole country of Canada. I promise you, they're paying attention. They might not be supporting, but they're starting to sweat. And I don't care. I'm only worried about Alberta.